Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I want to say once again before we begin this morning, after this devotional, go back and read the main text. And today's text is 2 Samuel chapter 16, 5 through 13, which this devotional is based on. Martin Luther once said, "You can't stop a bird from flying over your head, but you can stop it from building a nest in your hair." He was talking about forgiveness. And that's where we want to start this morning, because most of us think forgiveness is a one-time decision, one-time choice. You forgive someone on a Tuesday and you think you're done. But what happens is that on Thursday, it comes back. You're lying in bed thinking about it again. What they said, what you wish you said. The anger comes back just like before. The thought, the emotion, everything comes back. And now you're dealing with it all over again. Jesus once said, "Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven." Luke chapter 6, verse 37. Now, this isn't a trade. Jesus is not saying you forgive so you can get something back. He's in fact showing what a forgiven person looks like. When someone knows they've been forgiven and given grace they didn't earn, they start to give that same kind of grace to others without making them earn it. So what does that look like in real life after you've already decided to forgive someone? There are 3 promises in real forgiveness, and I want to go over them quickly this morning. 2 are quite easy to see, but third one, a little harder. The first promise is you don't bring it up to that person who hurt you. Not later, not during another argument, and not to win when you're in conflict again. You don't go back and use it again 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever that may be. You don't. The second promise is you don't bring it up to other people. You don't turn it into a story you keep telling about them. You don't let it be the first thing you think of when you hear their name. Don't share with other people. That's called gossip. Don't do it. The third promise is the one that's hardest, is you don't bring it up to yourself. You don't lie awake at night and go over it again and again. You don't replay it again and again until you feel angry, like it just happened. See, you can't always stop the thought from coming back. The memory just comes back sometimes. And you don't get to choose that part. But you can choose what you do next. You can notice it while it's happening and then decide to let it go instead of going over it again and again. Now let's look at David for a moment, because he lived this out in real life, not just as an idea or a concept. In 2 Samuel, a man named Shimei follows David and his group, throwing stones and yelling insults the whole time. And David keeps walking. Those stones and insults, they really hurt him. Those words stung him. Yet he kept walking because he'd already decided he wasn't going to make Shimei pay back. Each time Shimei threw something or shouted, David chose not to respond in anger and retaliate. And that's the part people don't notice. There's no big moment where everything gets fixed. It's just David choosing moment by moment, again and again, to let it go instead of picking it back up. He keeps moving forward, even while it's still difficult. And here's what you need to hear in all of this. You're not as forgiving as you think you are, nor am I. And through Jesus, you've been forgiven far more than you've forgiven others. Because this is what it all points to. Jesus didn't only talk about forgiveness. He went to the cross where every wrong you've done was placed on him. And he didn't defend himself. The people who hurt him were the very people he came to save, and he didn't make them pay for it. He chose to forgive. So my friends, next time the thought comes back, and it will, let it pass. Don't hold on to it. Nail it to the cross. You've already been forgiven more than you'll ever need to forgive. Let that be the reason you can finally forgive others and let go. God bless you. I hope that was a blessing, and I'll see you soon.